Hey you guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Michelle, this is Ryan, and we're Hey Olexa. You might even see Thor over there on the side.
It's our belief that the first step to living your dream life is financial literacy.
And today we're going to talk all about needs versus wants, things that get very confused all the time.
Our original video this week, we lost it because our SD card went kaput. So here's one little clip that we actually still have. Now back to needs versus wants. So, Michelle, what are our needs?
Okay, so according to NerdWallet, housing, transportation, insurance, gas and electricity, we're going to say utilities, and food, because sometimes water is included in utilities, which is also necessary to live. All of those are technically needs.
And then we got our wants. So this is obviously things like travel,
Entertainment,
gifts,
gym memberships, fancy drinks,
and upscaling anything. Buying things maybe brand new that you could buy used. So what do you do when you're, like, do you always have to get just the bare necessities and just your needs? Or is it okay to sometimes get wants? And how do you kind of like navigate that situation? So we just want to share like
how we do that.
What we do.
Yeah, so it's no joke or secret around here that we struggle with the food part of our budget. It's something that we have struggled with for a very long time. This is wine. We have wine, coffee, beer oftentimes in our budget, and we're vegan, which is typically known for being very expensive, but it's really not. However, we tend to want to splurge on things every once in a while.
Yeah. So one thing that we try to think through when we are making that decision of like, okay, like this is something that maybe we recognize as a want and not a need, but we still may choose it sometimes. And I think there are some valid reasons for that. And one thing that I like to do, or we like to do, is to think through, okay, like what would we be giving up if we get this now? So if you take something that's like, say, $5,000, and it's easy to think like, okay, if I buy this $5,000 thing now, then down the road, it's going to take us that much longer to get out of debt. I feel like it's a little harder when you're dealing with smaller things. But that's why having a budget is really helpful, because those smaller things add up, and a budget helps you see that. Absolutely.
So one thing that we recently compromised on is a bed, and not just a bed, not just any bed, but a queen-size bed with a pretty decent mattress. And that's what that video was all about. My best friend Becca came in town to help us get everything set up, and it was a whole video on our friendship. Unfortunately, it's not here, but Ryan's mom...
The friendship is still present, just not the video.
The video is not, though. So Ryan's mom came in town right when we moved with the intention of helping us pick up the bed and mattress that we wanted, which was actually out of stock at IKEA. And we chose IKEA because the bed and the mattress we originally were going to get would have been roughly like $300 or something. Like, I think $300 to $400. And we thought, wow, this is a great deal. And then she started asking us questions like, how long do you expect this to last? How good is this mattress for your back? Have you laid on it? Have you laid on other mattresses?
Which are great questions to be thinking through.
100%. And we hadn't thought through those. It was like, we just wanted more space, and we didn't want to convert our bed all the time. Because if you've been around, you also know that we lived in 375 square feet where we were converting our bed every single night. And that sounds great until you do it every single night for almost a year. And it's not fun.
Well, we were also on $75 twin mattresses. And the thing is that both of us have been having a little bit of trouble sleeping. Michelle's been experiencing a lot of back pain and
just body aches in general.
The thing about that is, in the long term, that can really be extremely costly in the way of medical bills.
Yes.
So we decided that it might be worthwhile investing in something a little bit more quality. Now, we did kind of go middle of the road because
we did.
Then you've also got your purple mattresses and your avocado mattresses,
which we really want.
But
avocado mattress, sponsor us.
But we found something kind of middle of the road. So just an example of one way that I think that's a great example of how we kind of sorted through that process. And hopefully that's helpful for you guys as you're kind of deciding between needs and wants. that can also be a challenging thing. I think when we were kind of preparing things, we talked about, you brought up that, how do we navigate that together? Because sometimes it's one of us that has a want.
Yeah.
And the other one either has to be the bad guy and say, hey, actually, that's maybe not a want, or not a need, but a want.
Like a gym membership, right? Like there was a gym membership that we both loved.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
We were at the time spending more on the gym than we were on food. And I finally looked at Ryan and was like, I love this. It works. But I feel like I can't justify this. This is like a lot of money. I would much rather that go to our food budget and be able to have either a nicer, like a night out or something else. And in turn, we weren't getting everything that we were paying for.
And we weren't quite reaching the debt goals as quickly as we wanted to either.
Yes.
So yeah, that was a time that we were able to kind of talk through that. And I think another thing that is really helpful that I've been slacking on recently is just keeping up with the budget weekly, which is something we've mentioned before. But doing that and knowing we're on the same page with it, we've noticed that makes it it's really on both of our minds where we're at with the budget, versus once you kind of lose sight of that, then it does become this battle of like, oh, well, this is okay and this isn't okay. And then we can get frustrated with each other, and 100%. It can become like a very difficult situation. Versus if we both know what the budget is and know where we're at in the budget that week, then we can say, okay, I know what this is doing. This is definitely going over budget by this much money. And now I can feel that and I can make a real decision.
Yeah, I think the other thing too is we kind of talked about in preparing for this video is Ryan was like, Michelle, there are times that something is you're gung-ho about it. You absolutely need it. And then you're like, I don't actually need it anymore. What makes you have that switch? Mm-hmm. And sometimes it doesn't happen for a long time, months. And I think for me, it's realizing that I have a lot more than I need. Even though we've done the minimalist challenge and we've gotten rid of a lot of stuff, even during our move, after our move, before our move. But realizing that if I ever am going to feel guilty over owning something, then it's not a need. Now some of that is a psychological thing that we're not talking about, but jewelry, for instance, I sell every single day, and so I find value in jewelry. That does not mean that I need a new piece of jewelry every week or month. And I don't need the most expensive thing. I find value in a 3-carat diamond. I don't need a 3-carat diamond.
You also cannot afford
a 3-carat diamond. That is not something we'll be able to afford for a very long time. But all of that to say, I think those are some different ways of figuring out your needs and your wants. And I think too, just knowing that needs and wants are not always as black and white as they seem. They can be. It can be very black and white, but food, for instance, is a category that's kind of all-encompassing, and you can go really extravagantly in your food when really you can eat beans, rice, and a vegetable, and then have a fruit in the morning and oatmeal in the morning and get all of your nutrients that you need. It doesn't have to be glamorous, I guess is what I'm saying, for it to be for your needs to be met.
And that can go for just about any category, I think, where...
Housing.
Yeah, there's the basic need is definitely there, but there's a point to where it becomes a want as well. And recognizing that is really important, too.
Yeah. I think that's absolutely true. We did that a lot with our apartments.
Yeah. So, if you guys have any ideas of some maybe needs versus wants that you struggle with, or tips that you have, things that have helped you kind of recognize a need over a want or vice versa, let us know in the comments. And if you like this video, you could just smash the thumbs up button, as they say.
Hey, smash. If you didn't hear him say that.
Is that what it sounded like?
You went, smash.
Smash the like button. And
go for it.
If you want to be reminded of when more videos come out, you can subscribe to our channel. We would really appreciate it. And we love having more people along on the journey with us.
Absolutely. If you're interested in following along behind the scenes in our everyday life, you can also check out our Instagram at Olexa with an O. And
until next time, just remember to budget wisely
and compromise kindly.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.